She was never meant to fall in love. Not with him. Not in this life. In a world where status decides your worth and love is a dangerous game, a misunderstood daughter is forced to rewrite her fate, one choice at a time. But when the cold-hearted crown prince starts to warm and past betrayals resurface, will her carefully built walls be enough to protect her heart? Welcome to a story of second chances, burning letters, unexpected alliances, and a love that defies expectations. Juvelien sat quietly, sipping her tea. Her gaze drifted to the garden outside. "It would have been nice if I had known the ending," she murmured. A voice came from behind. "What did you call me here to say?" She turned, her light hair catching the light. Her expression remained calm, unreadable. "You're 3 hours late to our scheduled meeting." He frowned, unimpressed. "Did you call me here just to criticize me?" She set the cup down, inhaling deeply. "Let's get to the point. In the story I once read, the villainess was abandoned by the male lead and died. That was her ending. Her eyes met his. I want to break up." He stared at her, stunned, disbelief clouding his features. His hand lifted to his forehead. "How ridiculous. Do you really expect me to believe that? Marquis Hessen, the man I once loved, the main character of this novel," his reaction makes sense. "After all, I used to be an ordinary girl, just looking for a part-time job. But I died in an accident and woke up in this world. 2 years into this relationship, I remembered my past life. 4 days ago." He looked at her with concern, but she was lost in thought. "In the original plot, I was far too loyal. Blinded by obsession, she recalled screaming at the maids, throwing tantrums, and belittling others. I'm the Duke's daughter. How dare someone of lower status speak to me like that?" There was another scene, wine spilling over silk. "You should have known your place. Back then, I pushed everyone away. I isolated him. He was the only one who offered me kindness, when even my father looked through me. That little attention. I clung to it. No, obsessed over it. I love you," she had once whispered with eyes too intense to be sincere, but I was only filling a void inside me. She looked up again, voice steady. "I want to let you go." He crossed his arms. "To survive, I need to take control of my life. Now. If you don't believe me, that's fine. I'm ending this." He turned away coldly. "Then don't ever show your face to me again." She watched him walk away, a small smile on her lips. "Did I just remove the death flag?" "I'm sorry. Please be happy," she said gently. His steps faltered, eyes widening. "No, this must be a trick," he told himself, yet his fists clenched. "Why? Does this annoy me so much?" Back at the mansion, her steps were lighter. It feels like something trapped for a century has finally been freed. I can finally rest. As she reached the stairs, a tall figure descended, adorned with medals, eyes sharp as ice, hair the same pale shade as hers. She froze. Father, the swordmaster, her only family, and the coldest man she knew. She lowered her head and stepped aside. "Have you returned safely?" Her voice was soft, smile forced. "In the novel, I knew who he really was. This time, I won't chase his affection, just his fortune. You must be exhausted from overseeing training," she added sweetly. He paused, eyeing her. "This is painfully awkward. Please rest. I'll head upstairs now." She turned. "I didn't train today." She stopped. "Did I hear that right? You've returned earlier than usual." He's just reacting to my change. In the past, I would have been out chasing a man who never truly loved me. Should I tell him the truth? We broke up. Silence. "Why?" he asked, stepping closer. She flinched. Oh, he liked him. He was one of his favored subordinates. Because the feelings weren't mutual. Her voice cracked a little. I don't want to spend my life in a one-sided love. His gaze darkened. It was almost terrifying. Was he planning to make him his heir? I'm the only child. Inheritance must be on his mind. I want to marry someone who truly loves me. I just want to be happy. He didn't respond. He turned and walked away. He probably doesn't want to speak to his pathetic daughter anymore. From now on, I'll live quietly. I won't stand out. That evening, the maid approached her room, worry in every step. She must be devastated. She always throws things when she's upset, and today she lost everything. Your bath is ready, my lady. No answer. She knocked again, then carefully opened the door. She stopped. Her mistress sat on the bed, face turned away, tears glistening on her cheeks. My lady. The girl flinched, eyes wide. Did she just see that? Are you all right? She quickly wiped her tears. I should have faked a yawn or something. I'm sorry, I'm just tired. I'll bathe tomorrow, Marilyn. The maid was stunned. She looks so fragile. It's all right. Please rest, she said gently. Thank you, came the soft reply. As she bowed and left the room, her eyes filled with tears. I'm sorry, she whispered before closing the door behind her. She must be heartbroken. Poor thing. As she passed down the hall, a deep voice called out. That child they cried? She gasped. The man stood in the shadows, eyes sharp. Tell me everything you saw, he ordered. His tone left no room for refusal. The sun peeked through the curtains as she slowly opened her eyes. A lightness filled her chest. I have a feeling today's going to be a good day, she thought. A soft knock echoed, followed by the maid's voice. Good morning, my lady. The Duke has summoned you to join him for breakfast. She paused. That was unusual. Downstairs, the atmosphere felt heavier than usual. She sat across from him, quietly chewing, surrounded by silence. He never eats with me, the thought echoed as she poked at her food. He stared with a sharp, unreadable gaze, eyes fixed on her every movement. She shifted slightly. I can't swallow properly like this. Without a word, he placed more food onto her plate. Eat. Her fingers trembled. Why are you doing this to me, father? Without protest, she began munching the added food, silently obeying. His thoughts wandered to the night before. Sata, breakup with Sir Hessen seems to have deeply affected the lady, the maid had whispered. Snapping back to the present, he let out a long sigh. The sound startled her. He must think I'm pathetic. Honestly, I don't blame him. The man sitting before her wasn't just anyone. A duke. The most powerful among nobles. Leader of the Central Army and Imperial Order. And her? I'm the laughingstock of society. No social grace. No friends. We're completely different. She lowered her gaze, sulking quietly as she glanced at his flawless posture. Jubilean. She straightened. Yes? He calmly wiped his mouth. What do you look for in a man? Her hand froze. The knife slipped from her grasp and clattered against the table. Why are you asking me that all of a sudden? I'm curious. He said, as if it were the most natural thing. Curious? He's never cared before. Is he planning to marry me off to someone else? A polite smile formed on her lips. What I look for? Someone stronger than you. Which is impossible, she added in her mind. His eyes sharpened. Are you serious? She blinked. Did he see through that? Innocently, she replied. It's what I'd like, but there isn't anyone like that in the world. After all, you're the strongest man in the Empire. He twitched ever so slightly. I need to act. Like I want a man so perfect he doesn't exist. With confidence now, she added, he must have wealth, status, noble blood, looks, and skill. If he's not at the top in everything, I won't marry him. There was a pause. I see, came his response. Did it work? Juvenile. She tensed. Yes? I'll say yes to anything. Please don't dig deeper. Let's go. On an outing together. She jumped from her chair. The knife she'd dropped earlier hit the floor again. What? Why? No reason. He raised a glass casually, face as expressionless as ever. In all 18 years of my life, not once have we gone out together. Why now? The streets bustled with noise and movement. Merchants shouted, children ran between stalls, laughter echoed. She followed behind him silently, his polished boots and sharp suit untouched by the dust of the city. Inside a small shop, he pointed at a decorative flower. That one. Then an owl statue. That one too. And again, at nearly everything. All of those. She trailed behind, confused. Why is he buying so many things? Her eyes wandered until they landed on a delicate trinket. Beautiful, but absurdly expensive. Who would even buy something like this? Before she could place it back, his finger pointed again. That one too. Her hand flinched. Why is he buying everything I touch? They exited the store, her steps slowing. I want to go home and rest. Suddenly, a woman passed close. A hood covered her face. A sword hung at her hip. She watched as the figure approached the Duke. A woman with a sword? Wait here, he instructed. She stayed put, eyes following the mysterious figure. Do they know each other? Lady Yulia came to mind, the famed captain of the previous empress. After she vanished, female swordsmen seemed to disappear entirely. Whispers began to rise around her, people speaking of her father. And of her. Their voices grew louder in her mind. I can't breathe. I need to find a quiet place. She stepped into the nearest shop without thinking, only to immediately regret it. A massive bear-like creature stood at the entrance, alongside a muscular man with a booming voice and a charming grin. Welcome, he greeted. What brings an angel, like yourself, to my humble store? Startled, she froze at the doorway and thought, wrong store. Her cheeks flushed. I came into the first place I saw without checking. With a proud tone, the man continued. I must say, my lady has excellent taste. What can I help you with today? Internally squirming, she resisted the urge to back away. Don't respect it. I'm not even here to shop. Just then, the door creaked again. A tall figure entered, cloaked in black, face hidden under a hood. He brushed past her, silent, then walked straight to the counter. How much for this, he asked curtly, without sparing her a glance. She peeked at him, curiosity flickering in her eyes. Something about him. Those red eyes. He finally turned, briefly meeting her gaze. Her heart skipped. Ah, he noticed. Was I staring too much? Then, without warning, he snapped, What are you looking at? Piss off. The word struck her like ice. She blinked, stunned, still trying to process. Okay, fine. I admit it. That sharp nose, those eyes, you're handsome. But still. Was that really necessary? Trying to appear composed, she turned to the counter just as the shopkeeper announced. That's 10 silvers. With a sudden flash of determination, she pointed to the item. That's exactly what I came here to buy. The man behind the counter hesitated. My lady, are you sure? This is armor polish. Not even glancing at it, she nodded. Yes, I'm very interested in that. Embarrassment crept up her face the moment she actually looked at the product. He had been watching the entire time. She tried to save face. I just don't like when my accessories lose their shine. The shopkeeper beamed. Well then, you'll need more than one if you plan to polish everything at home. One moment. I'll check how many we've got in the back. Wait! She called, flustered, reaching out as he disappeared behind the curtain. This isn't what I meant. Meanwhile, the cloaked man silently watched the scene unfold. With a sigh, he placed the item on the counter, dropped a gold coin beside it, and turned to leave. Hey! She called after him. Your change! He didn't stop. You paid 1 gold. That's way more than it costs. She caught up to him. Are you listening? That's enough to buy 10 of those. He paused. Slowly he turned his head to meet her eyes, those same red eyes from before. Lowering her voice, she whispered, You're not from around here, are you? A single gold coin is worth 2 weeks' pay for a commoner. He said nothing, just stared. She stared back, uncertain. Right then, the shopkeeper returned. You're in luck. We had exactly 10 left. Her expression froze. No, I don't need that. Many. Nonsense, my lady, he said cheerfully. There's no need to hold back. I'm not, she protested. The mysterious man watched in silence for a moment longer before turning and walking out, disappearing down the road without another word. Later, deep within the forest. Welcome back, my lord. A knight greeted as the cloaked figure approached on horseback. I've passed on the date of your visit to Duke Floyan. Very well, the man replied. The knight looked at him curiously. Did something happen, Your Highness? The hood came down, revealing striking red eyes. He said nothing, though a fragment of memory flickered through his mind, her voice echoing. It's enough to buy 10 of these. He mounted his horse and turned away. It's nothing. Back at Or, the estate. Regis glanced at the box in her hands. And those? Armor polishes, she replied dryly. She sighed internally. So, he just walked out. Does he have money to burn? Her father exhaled, visibly holding back a reaction. She flinched. He turned and spoke calmly. Let's go. I feel like I got burned too, she thought bitterly, following after him. She continued through the bustling streets. What a long day, she thought, exhaustion catching up. Her feet throbbed, and every step sent pain shooting up her heel. Ahead, a staircase waited. She exhaled, dragging herself forward. Just a bit more. I can't get on his bad side again. Her body wobbled. One misstep, and she stumbled. Before the fall could happen, strong arms caught her. A calm voice followed. What are you doing? She looked up, startled. I'm sorry. Panic crept in. Why didn't I watch my step? Being tired is no excuse. Without another word, he lifted her into his arms. Father, she murmured, unsure. We're going back to the carriage, came the stern reply. But I'm fine, she protested. Be quiet. Cradled against his chest, she was carried through the crowded city streets. Heads turned, whispers spread. She could barely breathe from the attention. What's gotten into him? Please, let me down. It's not that serious. We're going home. But stay still. His grip tightened. She flinched, silenced by the intensity of his tone. Sweat trickled down her neck, her breath unsteady. Why do I feel so strange? He spoke, but his words blurred. Find someone you like soon. Your opinion is the most... She blinked, vision dimming. I can't hear him. He noticed. What's wrong? It's nothing, she managed. No need to worry. Her body slackened. Jubelian! He cried out, voice panicked as she collapsed completely in his arms. At the mansion, She remained unconscious. He sat at her bedside, holding her hand. Don't leave me too. Jubelian. From deep within, she heard the voice, faint but trembling. That's strange. Why would he call me that? Then her eyes flew open. She shot up, panting. My head. What a weird dream. Alan's voice broke the haze. My lady. Are you all right? Her eyes widened. Alan? Tears filled his eyes. Do you have any idea how worried I was? You wouldn't wake up. I must have fainted. How long was I out? 4 whole days. 4 days? The door burst open. Another familiar voice cried, My lady! She was surrounded by gifts, sparkling boxes, bright flowers. What's all this? The noble lady sent these wishing for your recovery. She scoffed inwardly. Yeah, right. Just then, the door opened again. My lord, the servant, announced. He stepped in, calm as ever, and walked straight to the bed. His hand gently touched her forehead. You're awake, he said flatly. She blinked, stunned. Am I still dreaming? Without a word, he turned and left. Her gaze lingered on the door. As I thought, he came just for appearances. Days passed. She sat at her desk, staring at the unopened letters. All those flowers were sent because of him. Not a single one came from someone who truly cares about me. Her grip on the pen tightened. As expected, I'm nothing without his name. My lady, are you replying to all of them? The maid asked cautiously. Yes. They were worried. About me, right? She answered with a soft smile. Tears welled in the maid's eyes. You've changed. She opened a book. She's reading? Someone whispered in awe. I need to learn how to manage the money I'll inherit. From that day, she began preparing for a life without his protection. Ugh, studying is so boring, she groaned. It's what I get for neglecting it this long. Dragging herself into the library, she halted. He was there, sitting with a book and tea. He glanced up. Good morning, she greeted with a flinch. It's afternoon, he replied, unfazed. She fidgeted. You're right. His eyes narrowed at the book in her hands. Why are you reading that? I was curious about your work as a lord. Why? Panic rose. Does he think I want to steal the estate? With an innocent smile, she answered, Just pure curiosity. No reason at all. Sit. She froze. I'm supposed to avoid stress. What if I collapse again? He began a quiz. What are the 3 elements that make up a manor? She blinked. Establishing land and public order? Very good. I read the whole book. Then answer this. And so it continued. Question after question, hour after hour, she kept smiling. When is this going to end? At last, a knock. My lord, there's a guest. Freedom. At last, she thought, nearly crying. But he paused and glared. Oops, no eye contact. He smiled faintly. Read this. He handed over another book. Her face fell. This one's on strategy and tactics? Later that day, while pacing around her room, she sighed. I still have 3 volumes left to read, and there's no way I can stop now. A soft glint caught her eye on the table. A pendant? She picked it up absently, her mind already drifting. I wonder if he's still in his study. Meanwhile, in his office, the Duke sat behind a desk stacked with reports. She's worried, he asked, glancing up at the butler. Yes, sir. And the list of her potential suitors? We're compiling details. Family status, appearance, wealth, and reputation. The butler paused. Also, Sir Mikhail has sent another letter. The Duke's expression hardened. What did that bastard want? He's still pressuring her for a response. He believes her behavior is just a desperate attempt for attention, and he continues to speak of her with disdain. A heavy silence followed. "I see," the Duke muttered coldly. Then, with steel in his voice, "Make sure none of his letters reach her. The moment they arrive—" His eyes sharpened. The butler stiffened. "Burn them." That afternoon, "My lady, here are today's letters," the maid announced, placing a small stack in her hands. "Letters?" she thought, chewing her lip. One of the envelopes bore the seal of Earl Arlo's household. "Is this a reply to the letter I sent before?" She opened it slowly. It was a birthday invitation from Rosemary. Memories surfaced. Earl Arlo's youngest daughter. She eventually becomes close to the princess. One day she'll try to bring me down. Even if they were on neutral terms now, the future held danger. A party, 3 weeks from now. "Marilyn," she called. "Yes." "My lady, bring me some fresh flowers from the garden. And Sella, fetch lace and ribbons." She hesitated, then added, "And some cake." Frowning slightly, she thought, "Being independent is great and all, but I still have a death flag to fix." Over at the Arlo estate, excitement stirred. Inside her bedroom, Rose held the letter in trembling hands. The envelope sparkled with intricate detail. "Lady Floyan personally decorated this for me." Her voice cracked with emotion. "It's beautiful." Overcome with joy, she rolled around on the bed like a child. "I was shocked she replied at all, but she accepted the invitation," she squealed. "To be honest, I always admired her. In a memory from the past, at a grand ball, Rose had stood quietly in the corner, watching her from afar. She's like a living doll. "Good evening, Lady Floyan," she had said, full of hope. But the greeting went unanswered. The noblewoman walked past her without a glance, focusing solely on Mikhail. She hadn't even looked her way. Rose had stood frozen, trembling. She ignored me completely. Back in the present. Still rolling across her bed, she gasped, "I have to. Write back immediately." A nearby maid sighed. "My lady, please behave with dignity." The next day, another letter arrived at the Floyan estate, overflowing with glitter, lace, and heartfelt words. I didn't expect a reply so soon. She murmured as she opened it. It was long, 10 pages long. Still, she chuckled at the enthusiasm poured into every line. Did she copy my letter? How adorable. But then she slumped. Why is it so long? She sifted through the pages, slightly overwhelmed. Judging by the tone and detail, this would be no ordinary party. "Goodness," a maid whispered, moved. She's struggling over what to write back to her first friend. Based on how eager she sounds, she must be expecting something big from me. Elsewhere, in the glimmering circles of high society, the gossip had begun. "Have you seen Lady Floyan's letter?" a noble asked, voice laced with intrigue. "Yes, it seems she's finally maturing." "Don't be fooled," another scoffed. "You all remember what she's like." True, she never even attended events outside. The imperial banquets. And now she's accepting invitations? That snobby woman? Unbelievable. I heard pressed flowers and ribbons are the new trend because of her. I wonder if she realizes the commotion she's caused. A few paces away, Mikhail stopped mid-step as he overheard the conversation. Jubalion, he thought, fists clenched. So, Earl Arlo's house. His gaze turned cold, and he walked away. Later, at his own mansion. "Welcome back, sir," the butler greeted. "Send word to the Arlo estate," he ordered. "I'll be attending the party." "Yes, young master." And he picked up a teacup, pausing. "Any letters for me?" The butler looked surprised. No, sir. Were you expecting one? His tone turned flat. No. Leave me. The butler bowed and quietly exited. Alone now, Mikhail sat still until his hand began to tremble. So this is how you want to play? Ignoring my letters? His grip tightened. How dare you? The porcelain shattered in his hand, blood trickling down his fingers. You must be desperate for my attention, he thought, trembling. With fury, I'll make you regret this. That's it for today. If you liked, don't forget to enable the YouTube notification bell and subscribe to follow the next parts. If you want a continuation, mention in comments. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.